Hello and welcome to Heather and Hops. My name is Kat or Catherine. Still don't know why I give that option, but it's there. This is my little space on the internet where I have documented my knitting journey from day one, from basically my first ever project all the way through to now, where I knit quite prolifically, I guess. Yeah. Welcome to my little space. It's nice to see you if you're new or if you are a returning viewer. Yeah. I really hope that you can't hear all of the building work going on at the moment. There seems to be 4 building sites at each 4 corners of our house. So fingers crossed you can't hear that. I don't have a hot drink today. I'm on the water because it's a slightly different time of the day, which is a little bit later, and that's okay. But I do have, some finished objects to share. I have one test knit which I still can't share, but I'm really excited to. I don't like saying that out loud, but you know, it's the thing, it's there, I can't show you, and I can't wait to. I think next time I will be able to, which is very exciting. But I did finish my elf mail. Now this pattern's by Danny Knits Things. I can't remember her last name. Maggie? It will be in the description box below. But this one was super fun to knit. I really enjoyed knitting this. So I knit it in my own hand dyed yarn on a yak base and a high twist base in the colourway Ford and Sunshine type. And it basically, I always laugh, Alex always laughs, but it did basically knit itself. It looks quite, intricate with the colour changing and the texture, but it's actually definitely a project that you can knit while chatting to friends on things like Zoom, not in real life. But it is a really gorgeous knit and I love the way it fits me. I haven't got any photos of it yet, so I will probably have to throw it on and do that. But I don't think I did any modifications other than maybe I added 1/2 inch by accident at the bottom. But, you know, I haven't fully blocked it, I've just given it a light steam. And I love it. It was a really fun knit. What I might change, I would really like to do another one. Not necessary at the moment, but I would maybe change the short rows in the back so that they were in the texture. But other than that, I love it. I love the slip stitch along the side for the raglan. I just think it's gorgeous and makes me really pale. Not the colours, not that I'm adverse to, because I love wearing yellowy mustard and green, but it's just not the colours that I've been knitting with lately, and I feel like I'm finally heading out of everything has to be purple land, which is kind of fun. But yeah, really love this pattern. I do recommend it. It has option for short sleeves, but I thought that given I love short sleeved knitted tops. I really like my Rizzo by Amy Appel, but I have knit a few woolen or hand knitted jumpers that are short sleeved, and I think it's because I don't have cardigans. So they're not that easy to transition. So they're a bit too warm for the heat and not quite warm enough for the cold. So they're really good as in the middle, but I had no So yeah, cardigans is probably a really good way to go. But what I'm saying is this had to be a long top. And I think it's going to be great with jeans, but it's also going to be nice to wear when I'm feeling a bit fancy. So yeah, highly recommend this pattern. That's what I'm saying. Really enjoyable to knit. I met gauge using the same needles that Danny did, which is kind of nice. I feel like my knitting has definitely changed since I started. It was definitely a lot looser when I began knitting, and now it's getting a bit more consistently not tight, not too loose. Yeah, again, this was a silk yak blend and a high twist BFL blend. Loved it. I have two more finished objects technically. I'm going to show you this one first. I haven't put buttons on it, but I am not going out of the house to get buttons, and I would probably prefer to go to the charity shop and find some buttons rather than order some or whatever. So I, on Friday, cast on the Blondie cardigan by Amy Appel of Poison Girl Knits. I've had this yarn for like a year, maybe even longer. I treated myself when I bought the pattern, and it was actually, I bought it very intentionally. I bought it to replace a red cardigan that I have been wearing, or two red cardigans. I had one short one, so it was really cropped and sort of came just below the elbow, and I had a long one which was, I guess it was a mohair acrylic blend that was long sleeved and had a little bit of cable work. So I bought the Blondie cardigan and the yarn to replace it. The yarn is Beehive Yarns, it's so much fun, in Raven Red. So this was the Patty base, which is her mohair blend, and her Audrey base, which is a 75-25 merino nylon blend. And I bought 2 skeins of each, which when I went back to the pattern I was a bit concerned because I wanted to do the second size because I didn't want it to be incredibly fitted, I wanted it to be fitted. I didn't want it to be like restricted. I wanted the option to be able to wear slightly bulkier weight underneath it. But as I knitted, I adjusted, so I started with the second size from memory, then I went down. I didn't do quite as many increases and things, and I also started my decreases for the body ever so slightly lower, just ever so slightly than the pattern suggested. And then the only other modification was instead of doing purl stitches, I did twisted stitches. It was a 2-stitch twist rather than just a single stitch twist. So this is my Blondie cardigan, and I finished it. There is probably 1 or 2 ends to be woven in still because I'm like that, but the buttonholes are made as you knit, which is really cool. Again, if you haven't knitted one of Amy's patterns, she is very good at explaining things and giving you ways of modifying, or if you're between sizes, she explains how to add in stitches to make one of the sizes work for you. She's really great. Again, I met Gage with suggested needles. She's really cool. And I really love this. I decided on my length not by what Amy had done in the pattern, so mine is shorter, but I went to my favourite dresses and put on one of my favourite pairs of jeans, and I measured from armpit down, and I got it that way. Simple, and just as I went, kept tabs and stopped when I needed to. But yeah, I think this is going to be one of my most worn cardigans, if I'm honest. And if I had maybe black mohair, it's probably too warm to put it on, but I'll put it on anyway. I would probably knit myself another one. I really like it. Yeah. So, love it. I am going to take it off just because I don't want to overheat. My hair is already wild. I did sleep in rollers and haven't quite had enough time to brush them out yet. That's fine. I think it's held even tighter because of the awful colouring that I've done. But anyway, back to this. So I actually had yarn left over, way more than I anticipated. It used 1.5 just over skeins of each of the yarns, so I had just over 200 meters of each left, and I managed, I'm not going to take it off, but I managed to get a best beret out of it. Now off the top of my head, I got overly excited yesterday. A really lovely Instagram user and viewer named Rebecca sent me some patterns, way more than just overwhelmed level of kindness. Makes me really, I'm like, it's the same as on birthdays and things, I'm like, but super kind, sent me patterns, and the best beret pattern was on it, and I had not really, 24 hours ago I'd finished this, and the yarn was sat on the sofa still, so I whipped up myself a best beret. I will try and get some photos of this too. But this again was Raven Red by Beehive Yarns. Is it gonna go? Yeah. I did the small version and I did the classic silhouette. It was really fun. It was a really quick knit. I think, well, I wasn't feeling too great last night, so I watched a film and I'd finished just over half of it by the time I finished the film. And yeah, I did the rest this morning as I did some emails, and I love it. I can imagine knitting quite a few more of these, especially for the winter, especially since it's mohair, but maybe a classic wool. Now, this pattern was written for worsted. I used exactly the same needles as, I believe it's James Watts. Yeah. James did when he wrote the pattern. So I didn't make any adjustments, I didn't do anything because I'd been knitting with this and I liked the texture and knew kind of how the yarn was going to behave, but basically no modifications, nothing. I am really happy with the size that it came out using just mohair and a fingering weight yarn, even though it was written for worsted. So I might be tempted to do one in a more classic woolly wool and have a play with that. But yeah, I can't believe it, I'm really waffling today. But it's lucky because I really don't have that much else to show. I have another test knit that I'm doing. I've got a sleeve and a half to do, but yeah, again, I think I'm allowed to show you it in progress, but not the yoke, and it seems a bit weird to be like, here's the bottom of my jumper. So I won't. My D&D gameplay socks have grown. I'm probably got to do the toes. So that was last week. This was this week. I'm using Siren by Biff Sugar Yarns on her sock base. And then I really can't remember what this is, but whatever it is, it's really splitty and I'm not enjoying knitting with it. So there you go. Vanilla socks. Fish Lips Kiss Heel and garter, which I really like, nice and squishy. Living in my Nugget made bag, and Nugget is one of my friends. my bestest friend that made me this for Christmas, and I love it. So I will use it all year round because it has cats on. Speaking of cats, hello Audrey. Oh. Don't mind me. And then finally, I was gonna just show you what I might cast on. So my aunt bought me this for Christmas last year. Yeah, no, this year. And I'm not going to show you any of the pattern, but I might cast this on, which is the Jan sweater. Susan Crawford, a rewritten vintage pattern. And I really like this book. There's a few more items in this I'd love to knit. I cannot afford yarn at the moment, which is fine because I do have plenty of stash, and I think I'm going to use some stash yarn for this one, and some special stash yarn of that. So I'm thinking of using, I'll get it wrong, but this, which is, I think it's Fru Valborg, and it was hand dyed for Stephen and Penelope, and it's the golden colourway on her merino swirl base, which is a 80% superwash, 20% nylon blend. Yeah, I really like this colour. I'm thinking it would be a nice little top. Part of me is saying make a top up. Part of me is saying use Susan Crawford's pattern. So we'll see. If I make something up, it will definitely be a little summer t-shirty top, I should imagine, if not a lacy 3/4 length one. Yeah, I have 2 skeins of this, so I've got 730 metres or something. There's quite a lot of meterage there, and it's living in my Duckpool Lane bag, which I've managed to coax off of Alex. He's using his Wool Warehouse organza bag that he got when he ordered some extra yarn, because his jumper is doing pretty good. He's nearly finished the entire body. But yeah, I think that is everything for this week. Thank you so much to the lovely kind people that have purchased my frilly sock pattern. That is really mad to me. And yeah, I hope you are enjoying seeing more of your friends and family, even if that is virtually, which seems to be the only common thing from this weird time that we are going through. I'm really hoping it is a big period of transition and figuring things out. I think I am. Anyway, won't waffle too much. So on that, I probably don't have very much to put on the end of this video, but as always there might be a little glimpse into some weird moments in our daily lives. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any pattern recommendations, as always, put them below. 2 skein projects at the moment for that golden, lovely golden yarn that I've caked, and I think the Jan sweater might be it, but anyway. Right, Audrey is hounding me. She clearly wants lunch. You've never had lunch before. Is it just dreamy time? Right, on that, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you are keeping well and getting a little bit of time to make and create. Sending you lots of love. Take care. So as expected, I don't have much to share. Here is a little crochet pillow I made for a friend that I couldn't share previously because I hadn't gifted it. Here's Smokey Joe and Tuxedo Cat being naughty, and some horses. No pressure.
breakfast time.